Hello there, welcome back to Game Dev Tycoon. Last time I believe we, well, if I remember correctly, we did go ahead and open our own little research lab here. And I guess we are going to develop our own console. I believe that is my promise here. Developing your own console is a very costly undertaking. Not only do you have to pay a big chunk of money up front for the project, but you also have to pay your hardware lab crew. Only attempt to create a console if you're confident that you have enough capital. In developing a console, you can decide on how your console will look like and decide on technical features as well as quality assurance budget. The more sophisticated your technology is, the better the console will fare against competing products. The more budget you serve for Q&A, the better the quality of your console will be. So, I can apparently make something that looks like standing Xbox and the older Xbox. That's basically what I'm getting connections with here. We'll make it very easy here. We'll make the GreenBox. And I think I'll add to quality assurance budget. I do have a lot of cash. I can't really say that I care too much about what I spend it on. I'm going to use 3D graphics V5, stereoscopic 3D. It's cloud. I'm basically going to toss everything in here because I can. That is expensive, 108 million. Well, I can afford it, so it's not like it's horrible, but even so, it's not great either. But yeah, we'll go with trying to create this, see how it plays out. Hardware lab, welcome your very own hardware lab. This is a place where we will create our own game console. Before you start, make sure you have a lot of cash saved up. Building a console isn't cheap. When you're ready to start, simply click the screen to access the action menu. You also probably need a budget. In the beginning now, we're going to give them 2 million a month. Just to make sure that we actually will have enough money to make games on the side as well. And the review for Asus is in 8787, 7.5, not bad at all. With that, I guess we can go ahead and simply put it to 3 million a month. And I think we are going to go ahead here and develop another game. Do I want to develop a sequel? I believe we made a new engine last time. Or did we? Well, military action strategy, we're doing fairly well with those, so we're going to make another one of those. Or, I guess, PC is actually the strongest thing right now. I think we're going to actually make a mature field of battle here. And see how that goes. I'm going to keep it as a large game. Just sure it doesn't really matter too much. We might make it MMO later once we actually have what we need. So let us give this a go. It's action strategy, so I don't think I've used the V5 in large games, so we can do that just to see how much you actually have to invest in actually to make that work. So let's just get that done. Race has sold over 500,000 units. Good. And it'll break probably the 1 million mark right now as well. Engine is actually more important than the gameplay. So let us do this then and add in basic physics. One place save to cloud. Get rid of that. And we'll try this setup and see how that works out. And I can use my boost as well. So Race has sold over 1 million units, which is not horrible by any stretch. It's making a fairly good amount of money. For fans of the M-Box, the long wait for an update to the console will soon be over, as Microsoft has announced the MBox One will be available later this year. New console is marketed as a unified entertainment platform and comes with voice control and a camera which is always watching to enable gesture control. A camera which is always on is not the only controversial feature, as the new console also seems to require internet access at least once a day to function properly. It does not support previous MBox games and seems to place restrictions on how games can be shared or resold. Clearly, Microsoft want to push the current status quo and deliver a console for the new future of gaming, but we're not sure if players will share Microsoft's vision. That is true, so I think we'll stick with what we have here too. It should probably work out just fine. The only thing is that I want to put Bowen in charge of level design, I think, and we'll put Tony on sound once we get there. Just after Microsoft announced their new bet in the upcoming console generation, Bonnie has announced that they will release their long-awaited console, the PlayStation 4, later this year. The console seems to do everything that the PlayStation 3 did, only better. Unlike the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4 does not have an always online requirement and seems much more player-friendly. I think that there is hardly a risk of Bonnie fans being disappointed, but we will see how the new console will fare against its competitors. That is not bad. Legend. So, source code for the expensive 1.0. We're going to give it away. I don't think we will. I'm pretty sure that we won't actually earn anything by selling it, and judging by, yeah, cost is 3k and I gain 40k fans. I think I'll just stick to giving it away. It's basically the best thing to do, it seems like. Should probably make a game with a new topic now that I'll see it, now I see what actually matters here. So, Tom Rodriguez, you're going to take that. References is probably going to be on my AI bet here from that for the future. And that should work just fine. I need to invest a lot more in graphics, as you can see, but I'm going to get rid of the advanced stereoscopic 3D. And hopefully that is enough. So we have soundtrack, we have surround sound. Yeah, this'll work. Can I lower this? No. So we'll put references in charge of that, I think. Yeah. We'll go with this. It's not the best, but it should work. I'll have to look at the balance later. After a massive public backlash to controversial features announced for the upcoming Xbox One, Microsoft has today published a letter outlining the change of plans. The Xbox One will no longer require a constant internet connection and will not place restrictions on how games are sold or shared. Yet the difference and much more popular strategies of companies like Bunny, as well as vocal players themselves, have forced this change of direction. Well, that is also true. That is basically what happened, I believe. GreenBox is doing fairly well for itself, though. I believe I need 3,000 points to make it done. So it is, of course, going to take quite a bit of time here, unfortunately. Yeah. Train, let's see here. Can't actually remember what I wanted to make him into, which is the worst part. I'll have to check that out, but level design probably, or graphics. Probably going to put her in charge of graphics then, and we're going to put Mr. References here in charge of the AI. So let us get the bugs done and see if we can make something work here. Races off the market, so 2.3 million units, generating 33.4 million in sales. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And we'll take a loud boot as per the usual. Racing and simulation strategy is a good combination. Sounds is very important. Focus on entire team and development of the game. So yeah. Apparently I used someone for something else and it didn't pan out very well. I have a sound specialist. I believe I was going to put this guy in charge of level design. Probably. So we're going to train you in a programming course. References will be in charge of the AI, so I'll give him a programming course as well. Harry's here. Probably give him a design course. Pattern, we already basically know what we want to use it for. Level design as far as I know, or well designed, something like that. I'm a little bit unsure here what I actually will do, so take a programming course. And box 1 by Microsoft has been released. Good. And you, what do I want to do with you? Give a game design course for the time being, and then we'll figure it out. So, the game convention. Let's see how much hype we actually get from the game convention itself. 1.3 million visiting. That's not bad, and the hype went up to 390. Good. So these two will probably finish the game on more or less their own. Shouldn't be too much of a problem per se, but yeah. See what we actually come up with here. Finish it before the hype falls too low. No new records, only good management. 3D Graphics 3.5 is level 3, and Leroy is now level 8. I still need one more game, I think, before I can actually use references on Harris. So we're going to release one more large game, and we're going to develop it from scratch, I think. Here. Topic: pirate, post-apocalyptic. I'm probably with Wild West, martial arts, detective, airplane. Hacking, mystery, comedy, cyberpunk, spy. Music? No thank you. Pirate sim? Cannot even work? I'll try pirate sim. Sim casual? This will probably go to hell, but we're going to give it a go, just because I want to, and also because we'll get a little bit of extra experience that will allow me to get my people actually up to the level where I need them to be able to actually get those specialists. So, feel about 5. 6, quirky but good. Fun at stages. I like it, and could have been better. So, changing up those sliders, I believe, is probably not the best idea I've ever had. Market has stabilized. Well, that could have been handled better. So I think we're going to do this. And we're going to get rid of the basic physics, add in a couple other things instead. Yeah, and let's see here. Character progression and skill trees, I believe, is better than cooperative play here. Going to go for that, and let's see. It could go well, and it could go to hell. That is basically the belief that I have at this stage. Money platform. Well, Bilbao at least sold over 500k units, but it still didn't do very well in the second week here, and it actually used 4 weeks to reach 1 million units sold, which is not great, but heck, nothing much really I can do about that. So let's see here. References were supposed to be in charge of the AI. Probably put him in charge of that a lot earlier. Tony Rodriguez sound and dialogues. That should work. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this works out. Apparently design now trumps technology for some reason. Which of course is very interesting, but technology trumps design once I actually put the good guy in charge of, well, the place. So Leroy is going to take charge when it comes to world design, I think, and let us, yeah, we're going to use this and see how it plays out. Fortunately enough, we have synced up these guys' vacations, which is quite good. Potentially what I should do is wait now and sync up, well, everyone's vacations, which could be fun. Boss, I think it's time to announce the GreenBox to the market, or world. Should we go ahead and make a press release? I guess we'll announce it, and we'll get right to it. See what the world will think. In a surprise announcement, Hawkiee, a company known for games such as Duty Calls 5, has revealed that they have been working on their very own game console. The console, which is called GreenBox, is set to compete with the high-end console from companies like Microsoft and Sony. We're eager to see how much of an impact this new console will have. Well, hopefully it will have a lot of impact, but Can't really promise anything. We'll simply have to see how it plays out. So let us send these guys on vacation so they can rest up. And we'll also go ahead and generate a game report here. And then I think we're going to give Leroy here his, well, specializations that make some more large games. Seems like that should be a fairly alright plan. Build 5 is now off the market, sold 2 million units, generating 28 million in sales. Not too horrible, but not too great either. I can at least live with that. Xbox 360 no longer supported, which should mean that the PlayStation 4 is very soon to be not reported. So we did get level design was very important, and apparently we should try to focus the entire team on development of a game. It seems like something here makes someone not focused, but to get points from everyone, so it's kind of weird to see that. I want to make him in charge of level design, but I want to use him for something else. I have gameplay, I need an engine specialist. Engine is actually quite important here. Do I have anyone else who can take the position of an engine specialist? Leroy? Yeah, I think we're actually going to train Leroy into a... Yeah, we're going to train Leroy into a engine specialist here. And we're going to give Pathan the level design. It seems to be probably the best choice here. Probably. Yeah, I'll go with that. And we're going to train you up to 720 tech so that you can actually take level design. No, engine. Sorry. Build 5 have quite a few undiscovered bugs. Well, we'll develop a patch. It's not that much money if you think about it, but we are running short on it. I might have to focus on actually trying to make something work here. So, the GreenBox have been released. Hawkiee has released the game console GreenBox today. The console does not seem quite on par with the high-tech competitors, but we will see what players think. Looking at the features of the GreenBox, it seems that list of is extensive, which is a good sign and could lead to a wide variety of games becoming available. First tests indicate that GreenBox build quality is excellent and will likely run for decades without issues. All in all, we think that the console will stir up the market and prove to be very successful. Well, that is good. And we're going to go ahead here and also end the Pirates game. Let's see how that does with stuff. So, Tony, Tom, and Clinton upgraded. Which means that I can now actually make all of the specialists that I need. We're going to probably make a large game too, since we do have 3 of them. And hopefully that will make things a little bit interesting. The GreenBox is apparently also selling fairly well. While the console is on sale, your hardware team will have to work off maintenance points. Depending on the quality of the console and how many you sell, these points vary from week to week. Try to give your hardware lab enough budget to stay so that they stay on top of the maintenance, otherwise customers will become unhappy when they have to wait too long for their consoles to be repaired. So yeah, apparently now I can lower the cost here, and the reason is simple. I'm not developing consoles, I'm basically just fixing them. So, Pirates review. 6, I like it. 7, enjoyable. 7, good games. Simulation casual games work well on PC. Well, that is good to know. I believe 600k should be enough. At least I hope it will be. And it seems like the GreenBox is actually selling fairly well. 500k units already, and I'm probably not actually going to make it what I paid for it to begin with, especially with development costs. But if I make games for it now, then I'm pretty sure we could make something work. But we have used up time. This is the end of this episode. We're probably going to try and make a AAA game for the Xbox next time. Probably a military-style action game. We'll have to see. But it'll be interesting to see how things actually play out. Thank you for watching. Feel free to comment comments, praise, criticism, anything you feel like. And hope to see you around next time. Bye.